Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is LV, and thank you guys for joining us here on the LV TV podcast, where it's all things clients, content, clients, cash flow for those profit and impact focused coaches and consultants and those service providers. And today we have a very special guest. We have the co-founder of SOLO.TO or SOLO.TO, however you want to go. We have Eli with us today. And before we start diving in with him, this is that thing that we call the link in the bio. I already know what you guys know what that is, so I'm not gonna play you out like that, but the link in your bio is so important. If you really want to grow and scale your business to 6 and 7 figures, you need to have some way of converting your audience online. So this is where we're really going to dive deep into the point of turning those followers into paid clients. So Eli, thank you so much for joining me this morning. How are you, man?
Very well, doing great. Having a good morning so far, and I just appreciate you having me on the show.
No, I appreciate you coming on because I saw your product through an ad on Instagram, which some people who know me know that I love ads on Instagram.
Me
Like
too,
I'm buying
man.
stuff that's like I don't even really need, but it's a dope ad and it gets me to open up my wallet. And I saw that you guys allow people to embed. We'll talk about some of this later on. I just saw some of the features and the benefits that you guys have for your service, your alternative to Linktree. And I was like, yo, I gotta get this. Signed up immediately and changed the link in my bio. And I was like, I need to tell people about this. And I didn't want to just come from me, but I think having you here definitely brings a little sizzle to the steak.
Very happy to be here and, to just share it, because I think that this whole BioLink market has been like growing over the last little while, but there's been very few people who are doing it really, really well. And so we wanted to come in and just do it really, really well, a lot better than what we'd seen before. So
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that. So, Eli, tell me, what was that moment with you and your partner, you and the other co-founder? Like, what was that moment? Like, were y'all like sitting in a living room or sitting on a Zoom? Like, what was the moment where you're like, you know what, we can compete here? What was that moment like?
So we go way back, and we've done a bunch of different things that didn't necessarily pan out to like huge successes, but that's just the entrepreneur's life, like many failures leading up to something that's working. And we were just talking about ideas, and I had come across something that was similar to Linktree. I can't remember which one it was exactly, but we thought it was a great idea, and so we were looking into just like using it for our own businesses or whatever. And we were finding that there just wasn't anything that was blowing us away in terms of like design and feature wise. And so we thought that we could just do this a lot better. And we already had ideas about, things relating to social media and like web design. And we just felt like it was a perfect niche that we could fit into with our skill set.
Nice. So, what was it like? Dude, let's do this. What was that moment? Like, I want to know the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Like, what was like, dude, we got to do this.
So I think we were out having breakfast. I live in Las Vegas, by the way. So we were out downtown having breakfast like maybe a year or two ago, and we were discussing it, and we were just like, man, this is like a great opportunity. And I mean, it was definitely a moment where we like had this huge vision for what this was going to be, but then we had done none of the work so far. So like it was, we came up with the idea, and then I kind of like pitched it to him at our breakfast meeting. And then he was like, that sounds amazing. And we just had maybe like an hour or two where we talked about ideas, but then it was like, okay, now it's time to put the rubber to the road. And then we spent, I think, a year developing the whole thing. So it was like a long process from like idea to launch. I think it was just about a year.
Nice. So, how long has the service been available?
Since February
Oh,
of
nice.
2020.
Yeah,
So
so that's fairly new.
yeah.
Right. So for you being, a co-founder, you're sitting there having breakfast and scrambled eggs and whatever that's on your plate, and you have this moment and now it's live. What has been that moment where like the gratitude or the excitement, like, because sometimes when you create something, sometimes you can be so into the weeds or have your head down, you're like, and you don't come up and smell the roses, as they say. So what has been that moment for you and your partner?
I would say just, over the last like year or so, as we've grown users, we just have started getting a lot of feedback that has made it feel really worth doing, because so many people like yourself and just random people who, find the service say like, this helps me so much in my business. This is like huge for me as a musician, as an artist, as a streamer, as any type of creator. They're just like, this is really like moving the needle for me in respect of like co-promoting my audience, helping me understand like why having this bio link is important through the analytics. And it just like every time we get one of those messages, people will just like, I don't, they're not looking for anything. They just DM us or send us a message and say like, wow, this is truly blowing me away and like such a help. And so that is really like every time that happens, it's a moment of gratitude.
Nice, nice. So let's dive into it, right? So this is a bio link, and you do have competitors. One of your main competitors is Linktree, and that, like I said, I know people who are using that. We're getting them away from that to get them onto your platform here. So what would you say are probably like the top two, top three benefits of using your platform versus the alternatives?
So we try to explain it as like way better design and more powerful features, if you have to sum it up in like one sentence.
Okay.
But if you want to dive into that, basically like my friend and I are very detail oriented. Like we're huge lovers of good web design and just, things that function well but look really well or look really nice as well. And so we wanted to make something that was way more visually attractive because that was a huge lacking point of many other options out there. And then on the feature side, we have, many more options for embedding content and media like videos, streams, audio, podcasts, etc. And then also just, I would say one of the other biggest things that people love about it is they can have multiple pages under one account. And so we've found a lot of success in like the music industry where like there's a label owner or someone who's managing artists who then can have one account that has all the artists on their label, all the pages for their artists.
Yeah. So multiple links under one account.
Exactly.
Nice. I like that. I did see that, but for me and what I do is kind of like single user. But at the same time, if I was an agency,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, if I was an agency, that would definitely work. So one of the things that really draw me into what your service provides is that I was able to embed, right? Because when you're, and people are probably watching this here on YouTube or wherever they're watching, and I'm like, man, it's so many clicks to get people to the content that you want them to get to when you're on the platform. And I thought it was just genius to really start cutting down the clicks and cutting down those hurdles for people. So how has that been for you guys?
Well, I mean, as soon as we were starting to build out the features and like I was saying, those ideas that we were coming up with, we thought that this was just like a slam dunk because like you were saying, it takes several clicks for people, even with Linktree or other, like link sharing platforms. Okay, I'll click through to it, but then, for musicians, for example, then they have to click through to Spotify, then they have to click through to like the album or whatever and hit play. But with us, like you can embed Spotify playlists, you can embed YouTube videos, Twitch streams, podcasts. And so from your bio link, you can have multiple embeds so people can listen to music right from there. They can watch your stream live or subscribe right from there. And having all that stuff in one place has just been so helpful for people to grow their audiences and then also just, like increase conversions for whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah, I love it. So we're talking about some of the benefits and features now. Another one that's really huge for me is the Facebook Pixel. Right, Facebook Pixel is extremely important to folks like myself or those who are running ads. Right, so speak to some of the idea how that came about, as far as saying, you know what, I think people will enjoy this feature.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those things too that like right from the beginning we knew it had to be on there because one of the most like having a bio link and directing people to places is great, but we understand as a software company that like tracking page views and being able to retarget people who visit your page is hugely important. So when we added it, we actually initially just added it in a very simple way where you can include the pixel on your page and then get information about when clicks and page views are happening. But as we were talking about just right before this, when we were kind of introducing ourselves, we added in like an advanced set of features for the Facebook Pixel where it tracks specifically which link is getting clicked and then what type of event it is. So there's page views and it separates that for clicks, and then it also separates it for contact form submission. So when people like submit their email to you or hit the contact buttons, it's like a different event. So you can really target your ads specifically on what person or what that person or visitor is interested in.
Nice, nice. So, I really like that because again, you brought up the point of like retargeting, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just again, you're taking steps away from people. And I just want to commend you guys on that and
Thank
just push you to do that more. Just how many clicks can we remove
you.
for our users? Because it's going to be huge, especially with, you know, those of us who run ads and run them consistently. You just want to keep retargeting and keep serving people at that high level to where they're not just clicking that link and that's it. Right. And if they don't buy or take any action, they're gone forever, and you have to work hard again through your call to actions to
Yeah.
go there. So that's really really important for me, right? And then I do like the design aspect of it, right?
Thank you.
It looks refreshing to me.
Well, I appreciate that. And that's actually my part in the company, is that I do like the front end design is, um, like my friend is the back end coding expert,
Okay.
and then I do front end design. And so I appreciate that a ton. And it's something that, I've grown into. I wasn't always like, a good designer, but I spent the last several years, working to figure out what looks cool. And just, we had to also come up with something that was really unique, because that was another thing that we realized when we were looking into this opportunity, is that everybody is trying to copy Linktree. And so
Yes.
they all just have this idea of like, how should this look? And so what we did when we were creating it is that we just kind of wanted to stay away from even looking at other competitors, because we said, let's just try to do this from the ground up and have no preconceived notion of like what this is supposed to be or look like.
Yeah, I love that. Like I said, I love the design of it. And if I could give just some feedback on the design,
Of
one
course,
thing
we're
I just
always
want to
open
know,
to
like how customizing it. I know we can do our background. I know we can
that.
change the dark theme, but just knowing a little bit about what is that, what's the dimensions, like what, what's the perfect way to get the dimensions for the background. But that's the only thing that I can say, and that's because I'm
Mhm.
so a visual person, but I do
Yeah.
love it. I was able to add a background. I think it adds some level of flair and visual aesthetics to that platform, instead of just what you always see, like you said, people copying after Linktree. So we spoke about Linktree being one of your top competitors, and you're showing us even through this conversation what makes you better. Like, what is that thing where if I'm sitting there, I'm an agency owner,
Mhm.
I'm an artist, and they're getting ready to make that decision to pick one or the other, what would you say to that person who's like, yo, I'm interested, I'm ready to buy one or the other? Like,
Mhm.
why should I buy Solo.to or Solo.to?
Well, I would point him at the design, and I would point him at the features, and hopefully it's an obvious choice at that point. But even if it wasn't, I think that one of the most important reasons to choose us is that we're constantly innovating, and like we work on this full time, and it's something that like we are thinking about all the time and updating constantly. Like there, that's part of, I enjoy working so much on this project, because we get to move so quickly and do new things. And sometimes we'll be working, we'll be very deep into like a new feature, but then we'll come up with an idea that's just so good that we have to put it out right away. And we'll do that. We'll completely change directions and say, hey, let's do this and get this new thing out today or tomorrow. And so it's great because our customers get to experience this like no delay, and like between when we come up with ideas and just get to execute them. So I think that, you know, the value just grows every time we're doing new things. And so with some platforms that are, especially the bigger ones, they don't update as often, or, just feel like comfortable where they are. But we have a feature list that's a mile long. And so we're hoping to just bust them out as
Yeah.
fast as we can.
Yeah, listen, guy, and if you're watching and you're still on the fence, I'm going to highly recommend it. There'll be a link somewhere down in the description below of this podcast video here on YouTube or wherever you're watching it at, where you can actually sign up. So when they click this link, this referral link, what can they expect?
Okay, so when you click the referral link, you'll go to the sign up page, and then there'll be a little bar actually, and it'll give them 10% off when they sign up if they upgrade within 48 hours. So it gives them kind of like a window. But once you sign up, there's just a quick tutorial on how to use the platform. It'll run you through the basics. But honestly, it's pretty intuitive, and we have a big set of help documentation and articles you can read about every single feature and exactly how to do it. And then also we're here all the time, you know, answering help tickets. If you ever like want to reach out and get personalized support, we're available.
Nice, nice. So real quick, and if you can, because you may not be able to say, are there any integrations coming down the pipeline with with things that's not necessarily there yet?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things I can talk about. So there's something that's happening really soon. It's like something we've been working on for the last like month or two, and it's collaborator access. So it's going to be for those like people who want to have multiple pages, but then they want to have someone else who can edit that page as well. So
Like
for
that.
instance, managers of like artists or agencies that have multiple pages, they want to be able to manage and edit the page, but they also want to give access to like a client or a musician or someone who should be able to also contribute. So we're very close on that one, and it's coming soon enough to where I can talk about it. And then just big picture stuff, we have a lot of features that are coming down the road in the way of music and musicians, because one of our biggest like audiences in the beginning was musicians, and there's a lot of features out there that I think no platform has done in the way that help musicians grow their, you know, listenership and you know, just get those streams up, because that's what's important for artists now is like, how many streams can I get, because that directly equates to how much money I'm making.
Nice, nice, nice. If I could share
Mhm.
something, I would like to see some and I believe it's there, but somehow a more seamless integration with email, right? Getting people to
Mhm.
sign up for email lists. I know they can click a link and send them there, but again, I'm always like, how can we remove a barrier to
Well,
people?
actually, you might have missed it. We have an email capture uh, option. So when
See?
you, yeah, so, but the only caveat at the moment is we only integrate with MailChimp at
Ah,
this time, which I know that it's not the, you know, platform that everybody uses, but we're hoping in the next like few months to, you know, set it up with some other platforms. But what you can do is when you add it to your page, there's just one field for email, and then they write in their email, press submit, and it happens all on your page. And then
nice.
the email goes directly into your list in MailChimp, and you can then set up like automations from there to send out newsletters or whatever.
Love it. I love it. I love it. So I know that then there's more integrations with other users like Active Campaign. Just
Mhm.
wanna throw that out there.
Soon,
So,
honestly, yeah, and
yeah, throw
it's
my
on my
hat out
list.
there. And ConvertKit, I know some other, but anyway, I'm just thankful for the product, man. Really thankful for this conversation, because again, I'm all about let's remove barriers and let's
Yeah,
get people straight to the content, or straight where we would like to get them to go. Because if you're developing strong call to actions, you don't want people to just be like, all right, it's really not that important if I got to click 3 times to get to it. So again,
yeah,
that's where my heartbeat is at, and that's what I really want to share. So if you guys are watching this right now, whether it's YouTube or wherever, and you want to get 10% off, right? And you want to just get a little trial version of 48 hours, definitely click the referral link below. You get 10% off, and I get a little bit of kickback. It is a referral link, and I'm so thankful, Eli, to have you come on today. And I don't want to keep the conversation too long, but guys, check this out. If you're a coach, consultant, service-based business, or client-based business, or service-based provider, I'm sorry, I'm just all over the place. Basically, if you got clients and that's your stream of business, you definitely want to download this, not only to your marketing strategy, but just overall, and just serving your clients at a high level. Let's remove the clicks and let's get them straight to your content and straight where you want them to go. So, Eli, before we leave, is there anything you want to share with the people before we go?
um well, I just want to say thank you for having me on, and seriously, I appreciate it. And if anybody ever has any questions about the platform, you know, they can reach out to our help thing, like I was saying, and somebody will be happy to answer them. And usually that's, you know, like, you know, if you want to reach out to me personally, you're welcome to as well. I see all the stuff that comes in. So if someone's looking for, you know, partnerships or anything, we're still growing all the time. And I'm really looking forward to, you know, people, more business people using this for, you know, to just help their businesses. So
yeah, that's what it's all about. Just tools that we can use to grow our businesses. Thank you again for having us. This is the LVTV podcast. This is all things content, clients, and cash flow for the focus for the profit and impact focus coaches and consultants and service providers. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. You have a great day. Until the next podcast episode, continue to be social on social media.